right, folks, listen up. We have some special guests with us tonight, and I know that I don't need to introduce Colonel Evans to you, but this will be Colonel Evans' last meeting with us. He should be out of here tomorrow, and I think we've said it before, but we're going to say it again. We're losing a heck of a commander here. Been really good to us. Been enabled us to do a lot of what we've been able to do around here and a lot of the improvements. So we all have a great deal of gratitude, and we want to give them something really cheap that we picked up. On behalf of WGI, Colonel, we'd like to make that presentation.
Well, I keep saying goodbye, and I'm not actually going to ever read, but should be on a flight tomorrow, sometime at 15:30, so we'll see if I actually say something about it. Was that? Wouldn't surprise me. But I just want to thank you all again. It's been, it really has been a pleasure working with you guys, and it's been fun to watch. I've said it a couple times how well you've all come together, how well you've all worked together. Just neat to see that happen. So, Morgan, Tony, Harvey, everybody here, thank you so much. I ask just one favor: be as kind to Colonel Howard as he asked me. I think he'll do well for you. I talked to him quite a bit about what we think needs to happen to help this program. Things like the meals issue and stuff like that. You know, he's ready to try to attack those and see what we can do. So his doors, I shouldn't say his doors always open, but just opening up even if it isn't.
One last thing, it's a custom, most places have been the military, but when one commander replaces another commander, they have a coin. Now, we do not have they have a battalion coin or whatever it is they have. We don't have a Washington Group coin, so we picked up this really cheap coin at the PX that says thank you, and we want to give that to you, sir. Next, I'd like to introduce First Sergeant Monroe. I think in military terms, I would have to call her my battle buddy. The First Sergeant and us work close together. The First Sergeant is really one of the point of contacts that makes a huge difference for us. First Sergeant Herrera, as you all know, is a great guy. I don't expect any less from First Sergeant. What's your name again? Monroe. But sincerely, folks, I do appreciate everything that First Sergeant Herrera has done for us, and we're getting off to a great start, and I don't expect any less. So please welcome First Sergeant Monroe.
Thank you. A lot of you were in here on Tuesday last week when we came through the first time, and I was still dead tired. But I'll just reiterate, I am here for you guys as well. So I do have a policy, just like Sergeant Herrera did, and I will do whatever I can to make this program work for you and for the military. That's what we need it to do. Take care of our own and your own.
Do we have any last questions or comments before we leave? No? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, a little closer to us here, folks. Two sergeants back to the other office. They're in now. Senior Sergeant Randolph and Sergeant Francis. Now, obviously, we're going to be working very close in the day-to-day relationship with them. But you know, we've talked in the past about things probably changing when we have the turnover. Things always change when we have turnover. And I expect that initially here, we're going to have a few bumps in the road. They need to learn what it is we do, and we need to learn how they want things done. So there may be some changes, there may be some different rules or different interpretation of current rules, and I do think we'll have a few bumps along the way, but we will get it straightened out, we will get along, and we will continue to make progress. I want to start off tonight's meeting with a safety issue. We had a very, very serious accident today at one of our other projects here on Bagram. One of our other projects here on Bagram is building housing. And out by the gate, we're double stacking the connexes. And we had a local national on top of the connex and took a nosedive off the top of two stacked connexes. Now, man, I don't know if these folks are very flexible people or what it is, but he survived with we believe, a broken ankle and some contusions, and other than that, he's fine. Now they have safety belts, they have ropes, and they didn't wear them. So the rule is safety equipment will not protect you from an unsafe act. And in this case, he had all the right equipment, but an unsafe act very nearly cost his life. We are still going to report, most likely report, a lost time incident for their company, not ours, but their company will most likely report a lost time. It is a local company, so we don't mean much to it, but it certainly means a lot on our safety record. We don't care as much about safety record as we care about people. If people are safe, people don't get hurt, our safety record will take care of itself. So people's safety comes first. But keep this in mind, all the safety gear that we can possibly issue you will not prevent you from an unsafe act. So please remember that. We also are looking for a new, we talked about this before, but nobody stepped forward, so we're going to keep trying to pitch it until someone does. But we need a new morale leader here. Talking with Sergeant Francis, he's by the way, he's a cook by profession. So he's pretty eager for us to have another party. But in order for us to have a party, we need somebody to step forward and help organize. So if there is one amongst you that would like to be the morale leader, we would certainly like you to step forward. So please give us your name or come by and talk to us. On another sad note, I don't know, have all of you heard about what happened in Kandahar Wednesday night? Wednesday night at about 18:30, about 6:30, right in the middle of dinner, we had a rocket hit the DFAC, one of the large DFACs. It resulted in 19 casualties, 17 wounded, and 2 KIA immediately. We don't know the latest condition. We don't know if we lost any more folks. And I would have to assume we probably had, because I know that several of them were in very critical condition. But if you can imagine sitting over here in a great big mess hall, a rocket comes in and blows up, that you're going to have some seriously hurt people. The lesson here is that we are in a war zone. Wasn't anything that any of them could have done that would have prevented it. But the bottom line is we're working in a war zone. And this one cost some lives and injured a lot of people. One of the killed was a civilian contractor. And one of them was a young lady, a young PFC in the Army, 19 or older. So we are in a war zone. Along that, I want to add one more thing. We have a medic here, but you also have folks like Tony and myself and Harvey. You need to talk to somebody about the stress of this place. Come and talk to us. But I absolutely guarantee you that every single one of you is under stress for being in a war zone. Now, I know we have a lot of ex-military here. I know you can handle it in different ways, but you ask some of the veterans that have been through this before, and I don't think they'll deny the fact that sooner or later, the stress of this place is going to bother them. So before it builds up to the point where it causes a problem for you or causes a problem for someone else, come on in and talk to us. Heck, you know, we've heard it before and we don't mind hearing it again. And maybe we can help. Talk to the medic. Stress is a medical condition, folks. It's not to be taken lightly. So please, we are in a war zone and it can have an effect on you. Hard to mention suicide prevention. If you read the Stars and Stripes, you know that it's a great, big problem that we shouldn't have. But I can guarantee you that the number one, well, maybe not, I shouldn't say that. Well, one of the problems in suicide, people don't talk to each other. You see somebody around you that's acting different, trying to shut the rest of you out, make a concerted effort to talk to them. Really should. Come and tell us that I'm worried about Joe out there. He's just not being himself. I don't know if he's got a problem at home. I don't know if the job's getting to him. I don't know what it is. But he's just not himself. Come talk to us. Give us a chance. Huh? Just, you know, take care of each other, guys. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is R&I costs. I think you've all seen on the bulletin board. If you haven't, I'll tell you. What happened was we were going along here and running fairly smooth on R&R costs. We thought we knew what they were. We were charging $1,000 a round trip to buy. Then we get a bill in the mail from Heston and said, by the way, it's another $170. Huh? So what we would really, really like you to do is save $170. The way you can do it is you can make your own reservations on DFS to buy it back and save yourself $170. Now, I understand that maybe some of you don't have the credit card to go down to DFS and book it. We will still gladly book your ticket for you, but we need you to know that it's going to cost an additional $170. Personally, I think we're getting ripped off. But
Really? You think so?
pardon me?
You think so? I mean, we get it's cost us $1,000 to get out of this place. You know, that's pretty much
$770.
Yeah, it's like a monopoly they got there.
Yeah, see, Steve, that is DFS's charge. The 170 comes from the agency in Dubai that books it for us.
Exactly.
He's making 170 just for going down there and doing what you and I can do.
Exactly. Double thing.
Is there any other airline besides DFS that we can get out of here on?
Yeah.
Easter,
Same price.
and see, if you go pay Easter, if you go pay DFS, if you book it, you're gonna save that money. If we have to have Eston book it, he's gonna charge us. No, he's not in business for nothing. He has to make money, but I ain't gonna let him make it off me.
Why can't you go straight to the other one?
That's what I just said. You can go right over to DFS and book it and pay $1,000.
Why can't you go straight to the airline instead of being close to that?
We can't pay for it. The only way we can pay for an airline ticket is through American Express from Dubai back to Dubai. American Express will only book an American flag carrier, so they won't book DFS for us. So we have no way of booking it on DFS without going through an agent. That's
Why
why
are you limited to American Express?
Pardon me?
Why are you limited just to American Express?
Because we have a contract with American Express to book all our travel. Our corporate, all of our travel in our company has to be booked through American Express, period, no matter where it is, unless you do it. Any questions on that before I leave it?
That means we're gonna pre-book it, you can't pay for
No, we can't.
it. Now, down in Kandahar, they had an advertisement for Aerotech, going for like $695 2 days hotel room. You know anything about that?
Yeah, Aerotech is Easter.
Huh?
But
It is Easter.
believe, what you're talking about, Aerotech Airlines out of Kandahar,
Yeah.
I think flies round trip to Dubai for around $700. I don't know how you're gonna get to Big Kandahar. Maybe you can drop Mill Air, go to Kandahar, but it might add a day or two or three to your arm.
So they don't go out of here.
Yes, yes, Aerotech is right down the street.
Okay.
That's easy.
But that's Eastern, but then again, you can go book it. If we book it through Heston will book DFS, you'll book Aerotech Eastern only in an emergency.
Okay, that's it.
But either way, it ends up being the same cost to you from here.
Oh,
If you book it yourself, you'll save that money. We're going to add some additional lead monitor leads. Probably 2 to 3 more monitor leads we're going to add. So we're going to be looking, talking to some of you about stepping up to be a monitor lead. That should happen here real soon, we hope. Monitor leads, as we talked about before, incredibly important. And since our last Monday night meeting, we've had yet another example. If we would have had a monitor lead on the site at the time that we had the issue in the field, we would not have had an issue. The Air Force leads, the Air Force airmen need to work through our monitor leads. If we have an issue between a monitor and an Air Force airman, then we need to dissolve that, we need to diffuse that, we need to take care of it through our monitor leads. Very important role, and we're looking for a couple more folks to step up into that role. So hopefully some of you will be talking to us very soon. I want to talk a little bit about CAT cards. In the last couple of weeks, we've had, I believe, 3 individuals that have either completely lost their cards, dropped it, misplaced it, whatever happened, or in one case, had them take away their CAT card when it quit working. CAT card didn't work anymore. Go over the Russian Tower. The CAT card don't work. Thank you very much. We've been looking for you. Don't get it back. Now, first of all, if you lose your card, it's carelessness. In order to get it back, Mr. Tony here has to write up, or Harvey has to write up some disciplinary action that we took with you because you lost your cards. Then the supervisor needs to take that and you and go over there and try to get your CAT card back. They don't take it lightly. Personal experience, I went to Kandahar, walked in the airport, guys picking up the CAT cards, just like they do here, right? Well, I'm standing there with everybody else. Gary here, Gary, you? Anyway, Gary meets me at the airport, says, come on, let's go get your temporary badge for Kandahar. Walked out of the airport with Gary, went over to another place, it was closed, went back the next morning, got my temporary pass for Kandahar, and I told Gary, I said, what about my CAT card? Gary said, what do you mean? I said, well, I turned in my CAT card yesterday. Oh, that must be new, we don't normally do that. They changed the rules. But no problem, we go over there to the terminal, walk in, I asked this lady, I said, who can I talk to about getting my CAT card back? She looked at me and said, are you Mr. Morehart? Yeah, come with me. We go in there and sitting on the computer keyboard, my card sticking up next to the telephone. She said, you're about 15 minutes from being reported to the authorities for your apprehension. Do not leave this terminal without a CAT card or you will be apprehended if you get caught. So I don't know how serious they take it at Bagram, but I tell you in Kandahar, they take it very serious, walking around without a CAT card. So please, hang on to your card, don't lose it. Now the other case that we have going on right now where the individual lost their CAT card was one thing that we've talked about before. When you leave our company, you leave your CAT card. We have to, and Harvey can probably explain it better than I can, but we have to notify the government that you're no longer our employee and you no longer have a CAT card sponsored by us. This employee, through no fault of their own, did not happen on their last job. They made it through Florida, they got the cat card, they came here, wouldn't work in the computer, go to the tower and say, aha, you can't have a cat card. So now, Harvey's got to get that cleaned up. We've got to try to get them released, we've got to try to get them reinstated in the cat card with us. Right, Harvey? Yeah. So, yep. Yep, this individual will simply not be in the system. So please take care of your cat cards. Don't lose them. They're very important for us and you. Last thing I have is the vans. Tony and I and Harvey have been discussing this because I'm not sure how to take care of this one. Night shift came in tonight, went out to get in their van, came back again, asked me to come out and look at the van. And I don't know how long we've had folks living in that van, but it must be quite a while. I mean, there's enough empty bottles, food wrappers, cigarette butts, cigarette packages in there to, I'm guessing maybe a week or so. Man, I don't know how we handle that. I think it's totally unfair to expect when a driver comes in that he has to clean the van. I mean, I just don't think it's fair. I don't think we're gonna get people to drive these vans if we make them clean up all your garbage when they bring it in. I don't know how to take care of it, I really don't. I really hate to put the burden on the driver, or we're not gonna have people drive the van. I don't, if I was driving the van, I'm sorry if I want to have to clean up their garbage every time. I can understand cleaning them up, but man, the amount of garbage in this van tonight, there's just no excuse. So we gotta figure out how to take care of that. Harvey, it's all yours.
Hello there, everybody. In a minute, I had an opportunity to go back to the States and check on a number of things that I told you that I would. I have a working list of things. It's not going to be possible to cover them all in the time that we have tonight. What I'm going to do is each week I'll take a couple of those things, cover them. Number one thing that everyone involved said, number one for those people who are in the leadership roles is to get a final solution to this pay issue. This coming week there is a meeting in Cleveland. Our expectation is that we will have a decision regarding that. I had an opportunity to speak with the senior leadership regarding all the issues that I have seen, Morgan has seen, and they are aware that we're working to try to take care of those things. But I wanted to talk about that pay issue up front for those people who are in those leadership roles, primarily because Morgan had brought that to the table. We do need some folks to step to the plate and do that. But the first thing I want to talk about tonight is this employment agreement. There seems to be a lot of confusion about that in terms of when does my employment agreement begin, when does my employment agreement end? Anyone have am I correct in what I've been hearing about that there's confusion about that? Because if there isn't, is there any confusion as to when you start, when you finish? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Quite a bit. Okay. Quite a bit. So I'm gonna take about 5 or 6 minutes to kind of walk our way through that, and then we're gonna move on to some other items. But I want to start with that. A lot of you have different employment dates with different start dates. Some of you have different completion dates. What I'm gonna cover is what's factual and what's perceived. Fact, when you start on this, start your employment agreement, it may say April or May, but your date of hire is the start date of your employment relationship with WGI. Everybody understand what I mean when I say that? Your start date is the date of your employment relationship. An example we'll use is, can we use your example, Tony?
Yeah.
Tony's employment agreement reflects April of 2010, running through April of 2011. But his actual hire date, Tony, what's that date?
June 20th.
His actual hire date is June 28th. So the employment relationship started June 28th. Everybody walking with me on this? Everybody understand that? So regardless of what that employment agreement says, and it should have reflected your actual date, start date, or hire date as the employment relationship date. We have a number of these with a number of people here. Yes, sir.
The issue is with the end date, not the start date.
Okay, well, you know, okay, this is with the end date. That end date's kind of tricky too. Because some of you have a May end date. Anybody have an April end date?
I have July 23rd.
You got a July, well, then they got your, when did you have a July 23rd as an end date?
That's the end date.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm gonna go back to my original example. Your employment relationship started on your date of hire.
Your date of hire was the date you signed the contract or the date we signed in Panama?
It was your date of hire. You signed, when they put the paperwork in the system, making you a WGI employee is your date of hire. And that is the date that your employment relationship started with WGI. Kind of like Tony's example. His employment agreement says April, yours says July. What day did you do the paperwork down in Panama City and they ship you out of here? When did you come over here?
Oh, January the 9th.
January the 9th.
Right.
That is the start date of your employment relationship with WGI. So your employment agreement will go from January
July 23rd.
to January.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, they got July 23rd.
I'm telling you, yes, you got a hot mess. Everybody understand what I mean when I say that? Okay. Hold on. How does that, the question we have is, how does that work with the contract? The actual contract that we're working on. Okay. Here's the difference between, I gotta share some differences, okay? Your employment relationship is not the same relationship as a contract. Your employment agreement is an agreement between us, the company, and you. The contract is an agreement between WGI and the military. Okay? Everybody understand that piece?
Well, what if you told the military I started in April when I actually started in June? That you're telling me I started in June, but you're telling me I told them.
And I understand. That was not that. When you asked me that question, I told you that it was incorrect. That
Wouldn't that be when I started?
when you start as an employee is the date of your date of hire, all right? So you start, yeah.
Land or the date that you were born?
The date that you will put in the system as your date of hire. Typically, for those career contractors, it's the wheels up date. Everybody familiar with that term? Typically, your wheels up date would be the date of your employment relationship with WGI. Now, let me get back to this contract thing. The contract between WGI and the Air Force, it runs from what date to what date? 24 May of 2010 to 24 May of 2011. That is the contract date. Okay? Now here's how we're going to fix all that mess. Go ahead.
Are we under a contract or are we under a relationship?
You're on an employment agreement. A contract is a relationship between either an individual or a company and an organization that outlines very, very specific requirements of a contract. This is an employment agreement. A contract is a binding relationship. The relationship that WGI has with the Air Force is a binding relationship. What we all employed here under is an employment agreement. It's an at-will. An at-will, everyone agree with the term at-will? You're under at-will employment. That at-will employment versus a contractual relationship. It is an agreement that I agree or the company agrees to employ you for a specified, in a position for a specified period of time. And at any time during that period, either you as the individual or the organization can say, guess what? Had enough fun. Thank you very much. Appreciate your services. I'm going home. Just like you can resign at any time and go home. The organization can say, you know what, we no longer need your services, and you can go home.
So we're not getting the contract next. This may be coming up, we're not getting this contract.
Okay, the contract, now keep in mind, the contract is a relationship between WGI and the Air Force. Contract. You got to separate the two.
Now, I understand what it's saying. What I'm saying is that y'all not sure we're gonna be here after May.
Well, I'm pretty confident we're going to be here. But our contract relationship runs from 24 May to 24 May with a renewal option years for renewal. If you heard the Colonel before he left, we're moving in the right direction. We've made great strides, and my expectation is that that contract will be renewed. Your employment agreements, we're going to fix those with the renewal of the contract itself. We're going to fix the employment agreement so they reflect the appropriate dates. All right? I'm not saying that you're going to have to go out another year to get all the things that are associated with that agreement. We're just going to fix the loopholes and the things that weren't quite right. That is the best possible way to do it, is that at the renewal of the contract relationship with WGI and the Air Force, we will fix all of that.
So we signed an employment agreement with $60,000.
In terms of the number, I'm not going to get into number figures. You sign an employment agreement saying that you want to come over here and go to work for a specified amount of money. Let's do it that way. I like that better than a flat rate saying, well, 60.
But that's what we signed for.
Well, everyone in here didn't sign an employment agreement saying that.
That's right.
Okay, that's why I'm not getting it. That's why we're not getting into the dots.
Yeah.
Everybody, yes, sir.
Just a point, I signed a piece of paper presented to me by WGI back in June.
Okay.
That basically said that my bonus year, i.e. the contract, spelled out in, if you'd like a copy, I've got it, is May 11th.
Now, when did you go to work?
My bonus year, the contract, is May 11th.
Okay.
Okay, now let's not go beyond that.
All
I
right.
want to know
I'm
when my
listening.
bonus
Here.
will be paid out. By this piece of paper, it said the bonus would be paid out after May 11th, based on the amount of service put into prior to that time.
Yeah, it's a 12-month employment agreement.
Huh?
It's a 12-month employment agreement, stating that from that period of time to that period of time. Now, ask you again, what day did you go to work?
I went to work on the 21st of June.
On the 21st of June is when you went to work for WGI. That is
correct.
your hire date.
Okay.
1 year from there, 21st of
So your
June.
interpretation is the bonus will be due in June.
That is correct, sir.
Okay, my interpretation is by the paper you presented.
All right.
Question over here.
Yeah, I'm coming back to that.
Okay.
Okay, what would happen is, should we not get the contract renewed, the bonus will be paid at a prorated rate,
Okay.
based on the amount of time that you spent on the contract working. Okay, so we're looking at a prorated amount.
Yeah, it would be a prorated amount from June 21st to May 11th.
There you go.
Which I will be expecting on the next check at the end of May, according to the piece of paper that I have from your company, from this company.
All right, last question on this one.
On the contract, or as you call it.
Employment agreement.
Employment agreement, right?
Mine ends on May. Now, I've had it evaluated by a federal judge. I know exactly what this contract says. It ends on May. That's when my term ends with this company. Reference another one.
I'm referencing page 1 of the employment agreement that states that you have an agreement for 1 year.
No, it states that I have an agreement to the time this thing's updated. See, my contract's a little bit different than the rest
Okay,
of
then
it.
all right, if your like I said, if your employment agreement is different, you and I can take that offline and sit down and talk about it.
Okay.
That work?
All right, cool.
Yes, sir.
One more question. Okay, in the event that this contract is renewed, we will continue on our employee agreement.
Employment agreement.
Is not, okay, you have a new contract.
The company has a new
The company has a
Yes.
new contract. Are we gonna be negotiating, is our employment agreement gonna be renegotiated, or are we within the same?
Once you reach the end of that year timeframe of the employment agreement, either, if you could say, yeah, I want to stay, or the leadership team can say, well, maybe this person's not, someone that we want to keep on for an additional year. That's the agreement, at will agreement.
There's something that's out of your control on this. Should the Air Force renew the agreement and say, we only need 50 monitors, you're gonna have to terminate some employees. So now,
Yes.
you see, now this is just hypothetical, but
I
I'm
like
saying
it.
if that's a
Go ahead.
possibility, because I'm pretty familiar with government
Yeah,
contracts, and I've seen them get bigger and smaller.
They can get bigger, they can get smaller. That could be a possibility.
So then we technically will be terminated for at that point.
At will, yeah. And if we don't need 95 monitors, 100 monitors, then we're not going to keep 95 just cause.
So there is,
Just like
so only the new, if we get bigger, then the new employees would have a new contract, but the existing employees stay on the run of the previous employees.
stay until that year,
Until
until the end of the year on the employment. Have we beat that in the death?
Stan, you have a question?
Yeah. May 24th is the end date of this contract. I started in late September when I went to Tyndall. I was boots on the ground here like October 3rd.
Okay.
Okay. My contract says May to May, or my employment agreement says May to May. Okay. I didn't get in here until October. So if I elect to leave, if the contract with the Air Force is extended beyond May 24th, and I elect to leave at that time, am I not due the bonus because I completed my portion of the end date? It says May 24th. Why wouldn't I get the bonus prorated from October 3rd, boots on the ground date, through May 24th?
Once again, it is the date of your beginning date or your hire date of your employment relationship with WGI. It is 1 year from there, based on 1 year.
But it says May to May with the potential of an extension. It doesn't say in there that if I don't go beyond May, that I don't get that bonus.
The May to May speaks to the term of the contract.
Understood that.
Yeah, the employment agreement, and it speaks to the term of your employment based on 1 year, is what the employment agreement speaks to. So,
kind of vague, though.
The exact wording is what you say.
okay, all right. Tell you up front, I'm telling you up front, as I spoke before, yeah, it's messed, some of it's messed up. Some of it's messed up. Okay, all right.
The exact word of this thing is up to 1 year,
Okay.
not 1 year.
And it doesn't say that you have to complete the 1 year to get the bonus.
Yeah.
It says it's prorated.
It's prorated
From
based
the
on
days that you
the
started.
contract. Now, we can dance all over this thing. I've already acknowledged that it's a hot mess. We're trying to find a way to fix it, okay? No, we've already had we've already had lawyers look at it. All right, it's bad. Okay, there's some things that didn't go right.
It's the URS lawyers.
Oh, hell.
Okay, all right, we're not gonna digress to that. We're gonna keep it right here. We're gonna keep it right here. I've acknowledged that there were some errors in it, and we're gonna work, we're gonna fix that. At the time we're gonna finish, fix that is when the contract is being renewed with our customer. That's kind of the way we're gonna have to fix it. That's the best possible way of remedying some of the things that I know and you know were not quite documented correct in the employment. That's as good as it gets on that one. Yes, sir.
Mr. Harvey, what about R&R? I landed here January 2nd.
Okay.
And apparently I can't take my R&R after my time in the agreed contract agreement or whatever, because there's so many people here requesting their second R&Rs and stuff, that I have to wait till June for my first R&R.
Now, I don't know what occurred since I left around R&R, but there was some conversations in one of these meetings around those people who have taken at least one R&R will not be allowed to schedule a second R&R until the folk that have been here have been able to get their first R&R in. Morgan, did that change?
Yeah, we're still giving priority to those that have not been able to take the first R&R. What's happening now is somebody that's come in on January 1st isn't eligible until April 1st for their first R&R, but we got people coming eligible for a second R&R in April. So if there is a slot that we can accommodate a second R&R, we accommodate it. And we're still trying to make sure everybody gets their first R&R. Like it may happen that somebody like you who's not eligible for an R&R can have somebody take a second R&R in front of them if there's a slot.
Mine hasn't even been approved. Now they're saying I gotta wait till the contract gets signed or not. After that week, 24 days, I don't know if I can take it.
Have you booked a date yet? Okay, we've encouraged everybody to book your dates, even beyond, we've told you need to be back in country by April 24th of the current contract, but we've encouraged you to go out and book the dates you want in advance so you can get that date held. I don't care if it's in June, at least get your date held so that if we get the contract extension, you'll have a date.
Now that piece is being.
That's what he's saying, that we were told, us that came in January, we were told that we wouldn't be able to take an R&R unless they got the contract renewed.
If we are booked up from here until April 24th, we can't get you out if you don't have a slot where you're going.
See, we cannot, if somebody booked their R&R before you got here, and they're in that slot when you're now eligible, well, we're not gonna go and say, sorry, but your R&R is canceled, so you can go out. If it's already in there and approved, then what we are doing as of then, we're not letting anybody else on a second one be approved until we know that there's first R&Rs that are already been requested. Now, if you don't put in your request, we don't know you want to go. If somebody on their second R&R comes in and says, well, how about this time? Nobody's asked for this time. Then it's going to be reviewed.
I have a real simple question. If you sold your first one, is that considered taken or not taken?
Beg pardon?
If you sold your first R&R, is that considered taken or not taken? Taken.
First R&R. If you sold the first one, can you take the second? That's the way it says.
Now, you're not eligible for your second one until you're 180 days.
180 days.
I understand this, but if I sold my first one, and I'm eligible for my second one, is it on this priority list and considered taken or
Yes.
not taken?
No, it's considered your second R&R because you opted to sell your first one. You are in the same boat as I am.
That's all I want to know.
Okay, right.
It's a simple question for a change.
Yeah, they're all wonderful, as always. Yes, ma'am.
As far as R&R goes, since they're saying that come May, it's not the end of the contract, right? Or the agreement that's made between us and WGI. So how does that work as far as the payout for your R&R? And do you have to wait until a complete 365 days for that to be paid out?
No, typically,
Or
and
will
I
that
don't
be
really
paid
like
in
to talk
May?
about how things go if contracts come to an end, because there are a lot of variables. But typically, when a contract relationship ends, then there are certain other things that start to happen around how, the questions will be asked, how do we get paid, how do we take care of R&R, all of those kinds of things. Should we be in that, get to that particular place, all of those things will be ironed out, laid out, questions asked regarding that. Am I understanding what you're asking me?
Okay, what I'm asking is, you're saying it's from contract, well, start date to start date is December to December, correct? So all I'm asking is like, if with the leave form, with the leave information and the pay, because they're saying the 2 weeks that you go on leave, or you're not getting paid until the end of your contractual term. So actually, when do they get paid that? Because that's $2,000 that's on the line that no one knows when they're going to receive it.
Receive in May.
Do you receive it in May, or do you receive it?
All right, now I think I understand what
year?
you're asking. What you're asking, and you tell me if I don't have it right, okay? Is that you came in January. Or December. You decide not to take an R&R, or you
Yes.
decide to take an R? You decide not to or take one?
Not to.
You decide not to take an R&R. You come up on your 90 days, you're looking for your money, right?
Yep.
Okay, and what you're thinking is that money is going to be held to after May?
Yeah.
No. You get your money.
So you're going to get.
The 2,000, you get your 2,000.
Okay, but what about your other 2,000?
Other 2,000.
Because see, if you're
If
not
we're
taking
not here-
R&R, we're talking about more grand.
Okay, you must take one R&R.
No, that's not what I'm
Okay.
what I'm
She's
saying.
asking
Okay.
about the salary that you would earn.
While you're
When I
on
still
leave.
take my R&R,
Uh-huh.
I get the 2,000 right now.
Right.
And I'm gonna get paid out for that 2 weeks
Yes.
at the end of the contract.
But what?
Are you
At the end of your
saying-
year, at the end of your year, or
Is
the,
it
You're
the
gonna
end
get
of
that
the year?
money. You're gonna get that money, and it's not gonna be at the end of the contract.
no, it'll be either at the end of your contract, your employment agreement, or at the end, if the contract is not renewed.
Yeah.
The only thing you get is your $2,000 free leave. The pay for those 2 weeks will roll over to your job and so that's what it's counting. I sold my first one, got $2,000 for
Gotcha.
travel.
Yeah.
The rest is at the end of the time.
But when is the end? I'm still not getting the answer. When is the end of that contract? Is it in
Okay.
May, or would it be?
May, end of May. End of May.
So it's coming at the end of the contractual contract between you and the government?
Your employment agreement?
See, I mean, maybe I'm not saying it correctly. Okay, with your travel amount you're going to get, I know that up front.
Okay.
But the 2 weeks that you're on leave, that pay, when do you receive that? Will that be at the end of the contract that WGI has with the Air Force? Or will that be at the end of the employment agreement that I've signed with WGI?
Hold that thought. We'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay, that's fine.
And next week we'll finish this and give a full answer on that one. I need to do some research on that one because I'm like all
Thank you.
aboard on. I'm all aboard on that one. I'm not gonna step in that one until I'm able to get a little bit more information. It's like that's a little tricky one. I thought I had all of them when I started here, but all is possible scenario. But thank you for sharing that. We'll get to that one. Okay, have we beaten that one to death?
Well, this isn't about the R&R. This is a question about the end of contract. Because you've got the round trip fee for everybody. Okay, what's going to happen to that ticket for the 24th on everybody that's in?
On July the 23rd.
On July 23rd.
Well, we were saying year to year, why did they not give you a date for?
Okay, we would just change that ticket. The easy answer is we would have to change that ticket because we have to purchase a ticket, a return trip ticket because it's cost prohibitive to buy a one-way ticket in and then buy another one-way ticket out. There would be an
I
arrangement.
didn't know if you needed to do something ahead of time based on the contract.
Yeah, and that will occur. That will occur, and we'll change those dates on those flights to.
Okay, and I asked this question last week to the morning, I can't remember who said it. But I asked, since my day, since my day, in July the 23rd, I asked him, could I use that
take yours offline? Can we take that question offline? Okay, because I already asked you, okay, if you don't mind, we can take that on, but I wanna make sure, I wanna get on to some other stuff, that I believe is very important. Not that your R&R issue not important, but I think we can easily resolve yours. A few more details.
Can't hear you.
Since your employment agreement is not going to the same date as the labor contract, one of you told us that the contract was being enforced in the weekends. Since my employment agreement is not going to end until July, and I'm responsible for leaving after the 24th bill is coming to pay.
If the contract's not renewed, everybody make 24. Everybody goes home on the back half. No, if you're gonna leave on May 24th, you're gonna have to resign. That's not gonna fall.
But before we were told that if we wanted to leave after the long until May 24th, the company responsible for our home. So now that
If
doesn't
the
apply.
contract ends.
It's only the contract.
So,
All right, we got about 8 minutes.
Quick question. So if you're saying someone leaves early, you're making them pay for their way home?
if you resign, you have to figure it out.
Before-
Legally, just
before
like
1
the
year.
military, any contractor that puts a person overseas in a foreign country has to take them to the foreign. So you can't legally
All right.
make them pay for their way home.
Okay, here's
You have to put them back home.
We are waiting for a final confirmation. No. I mean, I heard you.
Question.
Sell out the gate, you know?
And then,
But in the employment agreement you sign, that's exactly what it states.
we'll send you
You
to
sign the employment agreement, it says that you resign, you're responsible for something.
You're responsible. Okay.
What about that ticket though, then?
All right, okay. I'm gonna shut down, I'm gonna shut down the ticket and the PLT and all of that. I mean, just for now. We're gonna revisit. Come on back next Monday. I got a couple other days to work on. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Yeah. Come on back next Monday. Come on by and see me. I'm out there in the parking lot.
I don't like minutes.
No, right there. I mean, I got an office.
The trailer.
Yeah. I moved to the east side, all right? I'm outside, I'm around the corner where the medic is, Bill. I'm on the other side, on the back side. You come see me. I got privacy, almost. I actually got heat. I got heat, I got a seat. All right, there are a couple of things that I want to end this with. Morgan, you mind?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I need to talk about, okay? Everybody heard that song with Bobby Brown? Look at all these rumors, follow me every day. Well, I let you know how old I am, okay? Who is it? Y'all help me out. Help me out. Don't let me hang up here. Who did that song? Who is it? Somebody know. I bet that's Bobby Brown. Is that not doing this shit? Who is it? Who is Timex who? Okay, thank you. Next time I use that, I have the right answer. Okay, at the end of the day, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of people that talk about different things. You need to try to get to the source before you get hyped. I don't know, I call it, when I was in the Air Force, I used to call them barracks stories. You know, they come up with some of the wildest things you ever want to imagine. But at the end of the day, the buck stops right there. And then the change comes over here. If you want to get a rumor, I'm sorry, where's Tony? Tony ran, didn't he? I was going to save a nickel for Tony. But anyway, before you get caught up in a rumor and get all twisted up, come see Morgan's, come see Tony, or come see me. Because at the end of the day, we're going to tell you, what the real deal is. You know, there was that's just something I want to throw out there. Don't get hyper. Come check it out before you jump off the bridge. Okay? Rumor control. That's what was the last thing. Hoods. That's a rumor. Get over. Yeah, no, just relax. Just relax. The check's in the mail, and we're working with it, and as we get bed space, we'll get more feedback. All right, so that's not good with feedback. No. Anyway, rumors was one, and I want to talk about respect one more time. Just one more time. You know what? Those of you who have met me, unless you caught me in the middle of something in my whole mind and I'm working an issue, I've tried to extend the same respect to folk that I would like in return. And if I don't do that, I get called on it. I've been called on it 2 or 3 times, and I call people on it, and that's all right. But we need to continue to work closely at respecting each other when we deal with each other. We ain't all have to like each other. We don't have to like each other, but I ask that we continue to work on that respect. Okay? Got time for one more real easy one, because it's wow.
I think the one thing you would supposed to check on too, I don't know if we still got people here that been here longer than 30 days that haven't got their bonuses.
Oh yeah. I believe most of those are resolved. I mean, I believe that 90% of those are resolved. And if they're not, get to me, because you know, that was something that when I went back, that was okay. Where's my money? Everybody was here to get paid. So I did establish a relationship with the payroll people over there. Went to see, hey, how you doing? Took them donuts, dripped and grand, you know the deal. How y'all doing? And we paved the way for resolution of pay issues in a more timely fashion. Now, remember, it's your money, okay? If it doesn't show up when it's supposed to, you need to tell somebody, and we can get that resolved quicker, because we have to send something to payroll. And some systems, it's automatically generated within the ADP system, but they don't have that model. So when you get to that point where you're 30 days in, you come up on your 30 days, maybe a few days before, come on by and we'll check it out. Okay, but you have that's not something that's automatically generated. We have to send something into the ADP system to get that work. Anything else simple? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would like to add something to about the rumor. The actual rumor was that.
No, not in here. No, sir. Not in here. Not in here. We deal with, when we have issues, we'll deal with them in a global fashion, but individual situations and issues, we deal in behind closed doors. I really wish you wouldn't do that. I really wish you wouldn't do it. No, I don't need no credit. I don't need no credit. I don't need no credit. I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, but not in a public forum. We don't address personal issues. That's just not something we do.
Was it personal?
Don't worry about it. Let it go.
Well, if it's
let it go.
If it's
let it go.
I have a
Work
question.
rumor, kill the rumor.
No. This was a personal rumor involving a number of people. But it was their business. So we're not gonna do that. I'm just asking that don't do anything. I got one more back in the amen corner, and we got 2 minutes. Yes, ma'am.
As far as the internet and the video, I saw the little guy that was.
You saw him over there?
Yeah, they're putting routers and stuff in. Do you know how long it's gonna be before it's active?
Anyway, you know what? I am hopeful that by tomorrow night, I'm laying up in my cot, Skyping with my folks.
You're in the video. Yeah, and then y'all.
Move it up quick.
All right. Once again, hey, thank you all for coming out tonight. Appreciate it. Tomorrow, Monday night, we're gonna cover another timely topic. I have a lot of grocery list of things that I was able to take care of when I was up in corporate, and it's gonna take a little time. So appreciate all that and everything.